Hello and welcome to this reading. So for today's reading, I just wanted to do general messages from Spirit or your guides. If you felt compelled to click on this video, then I hope that this makes sense. I hope it resonates, but if not, I hope that at least it's entertaining. I do want to just kind of blow through the intro because I'm on a bit of a time crunch, but I still wanted to do a reading. So we're just going to get started with the Oracle cards, and I only went to get a few, but I think 4 popped out. So yeah, we're just going to jump in. The first card is a win-win outcome is in the forecast, full moon in Libra. So Libra season could be important, or you could be dealing with a Libra. What do you need to release? Waning moon. I feel like this card has been coming out a lot lately. We have Jump In, Andromedan. I hope I said that right. Energy. Adventure, say yes to change. Interesting. Maybe there's a need to shake things up in your life. Maybe you're like bored or something like that. Or you're kind of going through the same cycles. Things aren't really, they're not really turning out in the way that you want or you hope. I'm sorry, defenselessness, righting past wrongs, and uprooting. It's a really pretty card. And then we have Inspire. Maybe you're getting into a new artistic hobby. Youth. You. And we have Union. I am already getting there is sort of something to say, pour your energy back into yourself. Focus on yourself. And then I got some little songs and little keywords. There's cat hair all over this tray. Okay, so the first song is If I Could by Gates. I love that song so much. Super ethereal. We have Still Into You by Paramore. That kind of reminds me of like the Youth card. It's a very like flirty song, and like the video, there's like a lot of like bright colors, and what like her outfit that she's wearing, it's like orange and pink with these like cool like tights that have blue like drips going down the legs. It's like it is very vibrant and almost youthful in its expression of like feeling. We have Royal by Water Parks. Oh my goodness, this is like bands that I was really into when I was like 13. And I think that that's all of the songs. Oh no, we have Cicuta by Citizen. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm pretty sure I am. There are these like little white wildflowers that almost look like little bubbles. I love that song. It's definitely one of my favorite Citizen songs. Definitely lots of different vibes. I'm almost getting there's something to do with self-worth here. Sorry, my throat is a little bit fucked up. I'm trying to think, but it is like the vibes of the songs are very, very different. But something is coming through. The self-worth is having an effect on your behavior or your actions, the way you're sort of showing up. Okay. And then I have, for the little keywords, moss green. That could be an important color. We have the name James. This always makes me think of, I like put some names in here just by the association of like, I don't know. It makes me think of Adventure Time, that, cause the little, what is he? He's like a ice cream bar or something like that, James. And they like banish him to the wasteland because he gets like cloned and all fucked up. I don't know. That could be important. And rain on the window pane, which it's funny because it's actually raining right now. I was gonna take my dog on a walk, but I'm doing this to wait out the rain because it's been pouring all day. There, she knows we're talking about her. This song in particular, I'm trying to remember the lyric, but I can't. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, this song I feel like is particularly important. There's something here about the way self-worth or your self-worth has like allowed you to, I guess, or it's rather that you've allowed people to treat you in a certain way because of it. And I think that that's why that You card came out. Find inspiration within yourself to, you know, to keep living life in a way that is like honest and authentic. Like I'm hearing you don't really need anyone else to lead you or something. I don't know how to explain it. I'm tired. I mean, I'm always tired, but that song by Citizen, it is about like sort of a dissatisfied relationship. It's with there's an external person, but I almost feel like you can apply that to the relationship with yourself. One of like the lyrics that is repeated is "I lost my faith." Maybe you've been through some things lately, or some experiences where you've lost faith or trust in your intuition or yourself. And I think that something is calling for you to get back in touch with that. Get back in touch with the things that you like about yourself. You know, find inspiration within yourself, maybe within the things that made you feel, made you see the world through like, you know, bright eyes when you were younger, things that made you excited. You know, the Union card, I see that a lot of times, like, and obviously it's usually like I put that in there to be like union with someone else, just because that I'm like a hopeless romantic. That's kind of the way that I see things. But I'm almost thinking that this sort of vibe is coming back into union with yourself. And like this I'm sorry card is almost like saying that you should apologize to yourself for the way that you've treated yourself, for the way that you've let people treat you. There's just something about self-worth coming through. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I don't want to ramble too much just because I want to kind of make this quicker. Got a couple of things going on later, and I'm going to be late for both of them, so it's fine. But, you know, it's the thought that counts. It's the idea that maybe I don't want to be late. Anyways, Spirit, what guidance? Oh, immediately. Yeah, definitely a focus on self. You've been carrying a lot of other people's shit on your shoulders for a really long time. And I think that maybe it's stuff that you've picked up intentionally because you like, maybe you like helping people. It makes you feel good about yourself, you know? And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that that's like a great thing to do, to want to be an active member of a community, or, you know, really want to help your friends or be there for people. But I think that it got to the point where people just kept levying stuff onto you, and there's a call to separate from that, because when you get too entangled in the way that other people see you and the way that other people treat you, and being like the therapist, the emotional support, the, you know, that kind of person for other people, you tend to lose your sense of self within it. And when you do finally separate, because you do acknowledge and accept that it is actively harming you, and it's not, you know, it's not something that works in your favor as well as anyone else's, it's just kind of draining and depleting you, it then becomes the question of, who am I if I am not that person? It's almost the way that when we leave like abusive or neglectful situations, we feel sometimes more lost fresh out of those situations, because when you exist in that cycle and that dynamic for so long, it feels like it is a reflection of you. It feels like when you look in the mirror, you are supposed to see someone who is, you know, scared and dealing with the symptoms of existing in an abusive dynamic relationship, household, whatever. you internalized the way that you needed to show up to survive, and you sort of begin to think that that is actually who you are. And so when you are forced to reconcile with the fact that like you need to move on from that, it can be incredibly scary and hard. But I think that there's, just generally looking at the first two cards here, you are overburdened by something. It could be other people, sort of throwing things at you, or it could just be like a mental, something weighing you down mentally, lots of like thoughts about other people that you can't control. Maybe you're the kind of person that always worries about your friends and family, but there's a call to release. Like, this is a pattern of behavior that maybe served you at one point in time, but it no longer does. And now it is sort of just, it's acting to your detriment. It's not helpful. You need to release this pattern to be able to move on with yourself. This was, I think, an important step in the journey so that you can learn maybe the reasons why you enjoy helping people, or maybe so you can learn how to assert boundaries. I'm getting that this was something that you had to experience so that you could take something very important away from it. But it's time for this chapter to close. Anyways, so I'm getting that it's going to take, work to try and find yourself. But you're building something stable here. Sorry if you can't hear me over the way I shuffle. I know it's fucking loud. But you're building something stable here. I do feel like maybe this is like separating, moving out of a situation, moving out of your parents' house, moving out of someone that, a caregiver, someone that you've been a little bit more financially dependent on, or dependent on in like a more of a tangible sense, like with a house, maybe they've been providing you like room and board or something like that. But I also, do read Pentacles a lot of the time as building more of like a stability in self-confidence. With the Cups, we have like being in touch with our intuition and the emotional side of things, and Swords, that's more of the mental side of things. We have the Wands, that is like that passion and creativity. And Pentacles are supposed to be about what we can see and touch and taste. But when it's in a reading like this, and when I feel like it is reflective of something internal, to me it's the groundwork for the rest of those elements, and for the rest of those sort of facets of yourself to be able to stand, if that makes any sense. It's about self-confidence. It's not self-confidence in the way that Wands are, because without anything, to keep that fire burning, it's going to burn really hot and then burn out. And it's not something like with the Cups where you can drown in just like the waves of emotion. It is the most stable and tangible form of the inner world that you can have. And I think that once you get out of this overburdened energy, you will be able to really nurture the seed in that Ace of Pentacles, nurture it. And it's going to be a lot of work, but I think that it has to be done. Yeah, this was definitely a lesson that you had to learn to be able to find who you want to be and how you really want to show up in things. Find what is and isn't acceptable, where you need to draw boundaries, what you think you'll put up with. Essentially, you had to go through this, so now you never have to experience something like it again. Because I am seeing that this, whatever caused this sort of catalyst, was fairly distressing and has left you feeling very exhausted and depleted. Yeah, you're gonna have to cut something out of your life that is not working for you. It's someone or something, potentially a pattern of thinking, a pattern of behaving, a way that you've shown up. but you're going to have to take charge and be assertive and cut it out. And if people are crossing boundaries, you're going to have to be very direct and clear with your communication. And maybe that's something that's hard for you. Persephone, she doesn't know where to sit anymore because I put decorative pillows on the couch. Anyways, definitely you're going to have to assert boundaries, and that might be something that's hard for you, but you're never going to be able to move forward in this more stable energy with yourself and with you, how you see yourself, until you adopt more of that King of Swords vibe, and just don't let anyone walk all over you. Let's see. Oh, wow. Capricorn season could be important. It could have been important. But this is like Capricorn energy. This is going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of work to almost defend the position that you've taken with yourself. And not slip back into old ways. And I am getting just like pushover energy, unfortunately. I hope that's not rude, but I am getting that sort of vibe, is that you're one to be maybe a little bit on the side of someone who's easier to take advantage of, or you love helping people. You're very sweet. You want to see the best in people. You want to help people out when you can, but unfortunately when it's taking a toll on you, you have to put down your foot. And I'm seeing that it's going to be hard and take a lot of effort to be able to continue on with those boundaries and those hard lines drawn for people, and being able to say no to people is something that is very, very important. And you're going to have to do that. Otherwise, you're going to slip back. And this is going to be a slow process. It's not really something that I think that you're going to be able to just cut people out and say no left and right. It's something that you're really going to have to nurture. You're going to have to nurture your self-confidence. You really are. But it's like little steps. It's little things you do to move towards the bigger picture and the end goal. And you don't have to be perfect all at once, and you don't ever have to be perfect. But making strides in the right direction is definitely what this is calling for. Because I don't know, this is just not a good situation. Whatever you've been through, whatever you're in currently, whoever you're dealing with, whatever's made you feel this way, almost getting cornered. You're cornered. We have the Magician. Yes, so you really need to take control here. Don't let other people run the show. It feels like they have been for a while now. It feels like you feel like other people have had more autonomy in your life than you have. And it's a really upsetting feeling to look at the way things are going and feel like you're not behind the wheel and other people are making the decisions for you. But you're gonna have to create that solid foundation. I think that the way that people are treating you isn't right, but it's almost easier to let it continue happen than to really stick up for yourself. We have a lot of earth sign energy coming in here, so I'm just getting very very much hard ley lines, being very, very strong in your convictions, in the way you feel. And when you do feel something, being able to communicate it, and not let anyone trample over you when you're trying to speak or twist your words around. I'm almost seeing that if you need to speak to someone or say something to someone, you can absolutely create note cards. Make sure your thoughts are in order. If you're someone that gets mad and cries, or you get really, really choked up, there's nothing wrong with really, really trying to make sure that you have your shit together, you have your ducks in a row before you try and have a tough conversation with someone. Definitely almost rehearsing in the mirror, writing things down, notes, something like that, points you want to address. It never hurts. It can definitely help you stay on track when talking to someone, when having a tough conversation. Let's see, what else do we have here? Definitely a focus on the self is important. Maybe you're dealing with someone that's a bit combative. I am getting like they do twist words around. There's someone that likes to almost fight. Maybe it's someone that doesn't want to lose you. But I don't know, there's some energy here that's emotionally immature that I'm picking up on with this Five of Swords, that you're going to have to, it's almost like this is the way you're saying, this is the way I feel, this is what I want to do about it, like I don't want to do this for you anymore, or you know, I think that you can't treat me like this anymore. And for some reason they're taking some amount of personal offense, but it's not really even super personal. It's just like, you can't treat people like that, you know? So if this is a conversation that you need to have with someone, that I'm hearing that it's not going to be one that's super easy, it might be a little bit tough. This 5 here does indicate conflict, but especially with that Queen of Swords and the King of Swords, it's very much take no bullshit energy. Don't let anyone fucking, you know, walk circles around you, or like, you know, twist your words, manipulate you. Like, have the fortitude to stand up for yourself. Have that mental fortitude to do that and be able to stand your ground and continuously communicate what you really want. Communication is very important. I'm getting very, very important. Speak your mind. If you're someone that has trouble doing that, it's really time that you just sort of unleash all that. And once you tell people how you feel, like, things will get a lot better, because sometimes really people don't even know that they're being shitty. And if you don't communicate that and you just like let things build up and build up and build up until you are in that 10 of Wands energy, and the entire time someone did not know, you know, you don't, that kind of impedes someone else's opportunity to do better, which can be frustrating for both parties involved. So definitely we have a lot of 9s coming through as well, with the 9 of Pentacles and the Hermit, and the Chariot. Definitely just move forward with a focus on the self. Focus on who you want to be, how you can be that person, the things that you want to achieve. Stop giving so much of yourself to other people. Don't focus so much on other people. I'm hearing like something about being disappointed. You're tired of constantly being disappointed. Don't put all your eggs into one basket either. You know, make sure you understand that people have limitations too. I don't know why that came up, but maybe you have really high expectations for other people around you, which is sort of a strange thing to hear, but maybe that's why you keep, almost like very paradoxical, you keep waiting things out because your expectations are like, oh, they'll come around eventually. Like, eventually they have to understand this. Eventually they have to be better. Eventually, you know, or not really expectations, but the potential. You see a lot of potential in someone. But if someone is like repeatedly letting you down, sometimes it's best to step away. But definitely focus on yourself. Pour this energy back into yourself. Don't let people drain you. Don't let people deplete you. Yeah, I feel like that was pretty self-explanatory. So I hope that it made sense. I hope it resonated. And I know this reading was a little bit short, but yeah, that's all.